Welcome back to another review, and today I'm going to be looking at the mini album by Napalm Death. Resentment is always seismic. God damn it, literally reading it from the damn... Resentment is always seismic, a final throw of throes. Yes, this is a mini album, therefore a mini review. That's how I roll. As you can probably tell from the name of this mini album, this is pretty much a partner recording to the band's last full-length, Throes of Joy and the Joys of Defeatism. I love Napalm Death, but they're kind of up there with White Zombie in terms of long album names that you need to read. That album was released in 2021, and my God, that was a good album. I'm a huge Napalm Death fan. There was no way I was going to miss reviewing this mini album here, but yeah, the last at least two, maybe even three albums of theirs have been absolute solid bangers. Their discography in general is just so damn consistent. They're such a good band. I love Napalm Death. I think I've said that enough already. Before I start getting into this mini album, EP, whatever you want to look at it, if you do like these videos, make sure you drop a like, leave a comment, share, all the rest of it. It really does help to boost the video, and it makes me feel wanted. So we'll get straight into it with Narcissus, and this was I think this is the only single to be released from this album. Actually, I think this was released back in December of last year, maybe, I want to say. And this song is as in your face as you would expect and want. Starts out with this really dirty, heavily distorted bass line before going into more hardcore territory, and Barney sounds absolutely feral. A better fit. Selection makes you sit. Sit right in with kin. The kin who sin. The kin who sees on chinks of any skin. Speaking of Barney, he had this to say for himself. Narcissus just seemed to fit the bill as one of those rampaging tracks that we always seem to gravitate towards as an album opener. The low-slung concrete mixer bass line at the start really ushers it in nicely. It was written as a time when the alt-right were parading itself around, so lyrically I like to think it exposes the vanity and personality cunt Freudian slip, cult of that whole thing. Banger of a tune. Next up we have a more mid-paced track with Resentment Always Simmers. This one harkens back to a lot of the inspiration the band have gotten over the years from Swans, a band that they've never ever hidden their love for, their the really heavy percussive elements, and it reminded me a lot of what they did with A Belly Full of Salt and Spleen from the previous album. Unlike that song, however, peppered in throughout these more, atmospheric, echoey drum, well, not loops, it's Danny Herrera doing a fantastic job, but yeah, we get some really, really heavy guitars joining in, obviously, and Barney seems to be warning us of the dangers of suppressed rage. Eloquent, but somehow spewing. Wouldn't hurt a fly as I stomp those squatting. Barbarity I spurn, but I'd off them once ensnared. Clearly not an ounce of that within me. One thing I do enjoy about this mini album, EP, whatever, is you get these different styles of heaviness. So I think a lot of bands would probably listen to a band like Napalm Death and it all sounds the same, it all sounds like noise. Far from it. There's a lot of nuance in what they do. I really love how they can do that absolute frantic, heavy, full-on hardcore, grindcore sort of a sound, and then go back into that more subdued, atmospheric, mid-pace stuff. There's always a lot of groove in a lot of their music as well. I think they're just I was going to say underrated. They're not underrated at all, but man, I love this band. The next song is by Proxy, and we go straight back into that more frenetic, hardcore pace for this track. Danny Herrera goes all out with blast beats and D beats on this song. He is such an underrated drummer. I love pretty much, I can't think of a bad drum performance he's ever done, or the albums that he's been a part of, which has been pretty much the vast majority of them at this point. There's just something about his drumming is always on point. He's such a goddamn good drummer. I'm assuming that the vocals are shared between Barney and Shane on this one. I'm pretty sure Shane does a lot of vocals as well, so yeah, you got that change up in the vocal styles as well, which is really cool. Loving the change up that we've got in tempos throughout the songs that we've got so far, which brings me nicely into the next song, People Pie even, which is a pretty faithful cover of the band Slab, who in all honesty I've not really heard before. They kind of this song in particular had a very Godflesh sound to it, with elements of the Shaman thrown in. Listen to the track, I'm sure you'll understand what I mean if you know those two bands. But yeah, Slab is a band that I've never really looked at before, and I think after hearing this and going and hearing the original, I think they're a band I'm going to have to check out. I forgot to mention earlier on as well, there's 8 tracks on this mini album, and 2 of them are covers, but you know, I don't think that takes away from it. Next up we have Man Bites Dogged, and this one is again straight back into that hardcore and with elements of grindcore thrown in, of course. Barney makes a lot of references to the church and the womb on this one. I'm not sure if this is him talking about being pro-choice, which I know I've heard him talk about a lot in the past, or whether it's to do with church interference in our day-to-day lives, or whether it's more of a comment on how controlled we are from the moment that we are conceived. Man bites dogged, woman bites dogged. Law-abiding uterus, usurp it, lock it in. Be reared, dogmatic. Who fucking knows? That last part was my thoughts, not the lyrics. Next up we have Slaver Through a Repeat Performance. This was another faster paced tune, and this time peppered throughout the song we had Barney doing a lot more of his clean, though still sinister vocals. This was another very atmospheric one, I thought. God, try to get through that without belching. I do apologise. Next up we get the second cover of the album, and this was Don't Need It, which is a cover of the Bad Brains classic. Again, another pretty much straight ahead faithful cover, and I believe it was once again Shane singing this one. I'm positive it's Shane who does some other singing. If not, then, you know, whatever, you know. Get at me, bro. And the final song is, I'm going to have to read this, Resentment Is Always Seismic. Dark Sky Burial Dirge. And yeah, this was another one that was very much in that Swans style, very reminiscent of Belly Full of Salt and Spleen from the previous album. It kind of almost acts like an alternate version of it, maybe, in a way, but it's a really solid way to see out the mini album. Once again, Napalm Death delivering a solid slice of grindcore, and certainly one that's going to tie us over until the next album, which hopefully won't be too long away. It was quite a long wait between the previous album and the album before that. I'm sure that current world events certainly played into that, but this band is just consistent as all hell. I mean, in terms of a score, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. Another consistently good Napalm Death release. It's just fantastic. It fits well with the discography. It really works well as an extension of the previous album, as I've already stated, and it just really speaks to how quality this band is. Pretty much everything they do is just spot on. Yet again, we have another one of those veteran bands, another one of those bands who've been inspiring people for years, still doing relevant, essential music. And yeah, Napalm Death, truly one of my favourite bands. I just love everything they do. They're so goddamn great. All hail Napalm Death. Bit extreme, was that, you know, for a review? So there we go. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my review for Once Human. Their Scarweaver album dropped today as well. Tomorrow I'll be releasing my review for the new Voivod album, Synchro Anarchy. I've recorded a lot of videos today. A lot of albums this weekend. Yeah, Sunday I hope to have out my review for the new Zealanada album. I've reviewed his previous 2 albums, so there's no way I could miss doing the third one. And also we have Cult of Luna, Author and Punisher, and the new album by Slash with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. And yeah, I will be talking about all of them one way or the other, whether it'll be separate videos or, you know, condensing it down into, you know, doing a couple of albums per video. I don't know, but plenty to think. God, I'm tired. Once again, if you made it this far in the video, thanks very much for watching. Drop a like. It really does help boost the videos, really helps send a message to YouTube that people give a damn about these. And once again, I will be returning to the hills, as many of you are waiting for, basically. But yeah, no, it's that time of the year where it's cold, it's miserable, it's dark. I spend all week working, and, you know, by the time I finish, it's dark out, so I can't go out on the hill to record like I used to. But we're coming into the warmer weather, we're coming into the brighter weather, and yeah, I look forward to getting out there again very, very soon. But until then, take care of yourselves. My voice is starting to go. I'm not used to talking this much. I'm a miserable bastard. I spend a lot of time away from people. I don't apologise for it. See who I am.